Good afternoon, people. November 4th, Friday. Pull myself together here a little bit. Um, we got, there's so much to talk about every day, but the candidate here, Guy Meyer, with about 3 days to go, it's pretty much, it's almost a done deal now. There's not a lot that I can do probably to affect the votes. And yet, you don't know. So I'll just proceed. Maybe this communication will give something for somebody, perhaps send them packing in a different direction. I don't know. I wanted to talk a couple of regarding a couple of items here. One is sort of the ability to talk about difficult subjects, uh, and that's a challenge. And that's a challenge to we have our things that are like motherhood and apple pie, or at least once upon a time it was motherhood and apple pie, that were sacred discussions. Um, and I'm just going to touch a, a sensitive topic here in San Anselmo, and that's the love of our libraries. And personally, I am a lover of all libraries. I've actually even had a small little collection of local California library cards that I inadvertently started years back when I was traveling around and never had the Wi-Fi, and I would always visit libraries. And soon I was collecting a Ukiah library card or a Glendale library card or a Los Angeles or in San Francisco. It was the point being that if I wanted to prescribe some medicine to make a beautiful world, I would say that libraries should be um, just part of the fundamental prescription, um, and particularly in regards to creating literacy and in children and instilling in children a love of reading, a love of books, and a love of discovery. In our town, Measure H, a tax measure to keep funding the library at the levels that we've achieved now, is on the ballot, and I'm not going to urge anybody to vote any direction but their conscience. And I don't want to. I don't want to suggest that maybe the library needs to be looked at a little bit too. But yes, let's do that. Sacred cows. So I'm curious, as we know, everybody, or as we don't know, but maybe we should know, that there are good, earnest people doing jobs in California for the government everywhere you look. And it doesn't mean that these good, earnest people might need a little direction or correction or examination, or they're good people. But so my question would be for the town manager and the council, uh, for our head librarian, does it serve the library to also be the assistant to the town manager? Um, and we're justifying this additional parcel tax, and that would be a question. Um, does our head librarian have that much extra time? Um, what level? What level do we keep adding on to the tax bill? It seems pretty negligible, the $77 on a partial tax when, 1% of a $1.5 million home is your tax bracket, and that's pretty huge. But I still would like to question that. I do question that, and I question uh, what we can do in San Anselmo to achieve our own sense of direction. Let's just say that this little town is what we have to work with to make this a better world, in a better country, in a better California, etc. Uh, my sense that American culture and literacy, um, they both have to be um, encouraged, and uh, what's the word, sustained and cherished, and that's a, and literacy seems fundamental, right? Librarians should be out there, and they are out there helping children read. But I guess when I see the classes on the lawn, and I know this might seem very politically incorrect, but every week the Spanish language classes, I'm just wondering, do we need, would it be of value to our new Spanish uh, visitors, or people who are coming in to live, or to perhaps become citizens someday, to learn about American culture? And the question might be, what is American culture? Like, do we have something called American culture? And I think we do. And I think it manifests in lots of different ways. And I think it needs to be seen as a very big, a big, a big embracing, inclusive circle, but that it exists. Um, so that's what I would really love to see, something that celebrates American culture on a weekly basis out on the town lawn. I think of the lack um, of well, I'm thinking of music. I'm thinking of American country music, which sort of the white population. I'm thinking of American soul music, the African American population. I'm thinking of this unity of what a wonderful river of music that flows through America. And I always thought that that was part of our um, power to reach the rest of the planet. Seems like we've forgotten it here in America. I know we haven't, because we got the Live in the Avenue, but I feel like we need to stir up the sense of American culture again. So I'd like the library to be a source of powering the love of children reading and our own American culture. And that's my politically incorrect correct stand of the day. Uh, there's just so much we got to look at, I think, with a certain degree of courage, and be able to poke at things that, oh, you can't ask questions about, uh, for instance, the Democratic Party. Now, I live in Marin County, and we are about as blue as it can be, and I'm wearing blue. It doesn't mean I'm a member of the Democratic Party, because I'm not. I haven't been a member of any political party perhaps ever in my life. I think maybe as a young person, I always was a little bit skeptical about joining. It wasn't necessary for me to join. And then I became more and more of an independent. Um, but I'm just seeing these races where you have Democratic candidates running against Democratic candidates in November. And that's because this has been decided in the primary that they would be running against each other, but no Green Party, no Republican Party, nobody else would even be on the ticket. I mean, I really question where democracy is going when we think that only one party is the good answer, is the vision. I think we're hurting ourselves. I question why voting early is a good community value. We have debates that should go on right up till election day. It should be a powerful moment when we sum it all up on the day before election day, and we go down the next day and we vote. Um, I think the only person who gains an advantage by this early voting is the power structure, or the incumbents, or the big money, where they have people believing in what is perceived as conventional wisdom. And it'll always be the underdog who will be most disenfranchised by this early voting process. I recommend everybody, as a sense of resistance, um, to vote on November 8th. Um, that's part of my philosophy. I noticed that Governor Newsom has, in the front page of today's California papers, has gone after the towns and counties of California for not doing more for homeless, and he was going to withhold funds until t- cities and towns present their homeless plans. Well, it may be valuable to stir something up, and I think that every town, including San Anselmo, can offer some creative uh, vision of housing that our own homeless population could be dealt with. But for the governor to be once again dropping another mandate on local towns that they must come up with this plan, come up with the mandated housing requirements, the green codes. I feel that Mr. Newsom is completely lost from reality on the ground of what the communities and cities of California are trying to accomplish. Um, you know, I would urge anybody who hasn't cast a vote yet, waiting for November 8th, to vote for. Don't vote for Mr. Newsom. That would be. I couldn't bring myself to vote for him. And oh, a few more things, little things. What would you accomplish if I was so lucky to be on the town council? Well, I don't know. I think it would be really important to get a town agenda for the meetings in the hands of council members before the Friday at the end of the day for a Tuesday meeting. There's important subjects in every agenda, every council agenda, and council members need time to study that. I don't think that they should be cramming on a Monday. Many of them have other jobs. It should be at least 5 days notice, and that will be a very good thing for the townspeople too. And the town manager, Dave, a wonderful man, and wonderful good people in the town of San Anselmo. I really look forward to working with him. Uh, Maybe that would make his job a little harder to get that agenda 5 days in advance. But on the other hand, maybe that would keep council agendas a little trimmed. I would hope that council meetings never go beyond 3 hours, or certainly never take up a new subject after 3 hours of meeting. To me, that's that's bad democracy on behalf of anybody who's trying to pay attention to or hope to get to the subject that they want to talk about, or for the council members themselves to have to sit there for over 3 hours and deliberate. I don't think it's necessary. We have to trim the agendas, and let's trim the agendas. Uh, and not that the council members are lazy people, and I don't want to be a lazy person if I'm elected, but I think it would be good for everybody to keep it simple. What about that FEMA horn? I'm thinking of a couple of simple things. What about the town attorney writing a letter to FEMA and saying, excuse us, but we've been blasting this horn every Friday, 52 weeks of the year as a test. It, this is California. What is a decibel level? What if we do it just the 4 weeks of September? I mean, all right, that's a silly little thing. There's a bunch of things that I would love to improve. I'd love to return a police department to San Anselmo someday. Um, as I mentioned this before, I think 5 police officers who are real peace officers making a kind of a statement for the 21st century for our town. I think that would be just wonderful, great. I'm not into the consolidation. If people want me to serve on commissions or committees, by the way, this is what council members do. They usually are assigned 3 or 4 different committees that often meet to help with county issues. Personally, I'd like to help with San Anselmo issues, either San Anselmo commissions, or I think it'd be great to sit in with the public works director, maybe over a course of a few weeks or months, sit in with the clerk or the parks department, find out what's going on, see how it works. Um, Anyhow, a lot going on every day, and I guess I'll be out tonight and tomorrow with a sign at the hub. It's not a lot I can say. It says honk twice for a guy. We're getting a little noise out there. Um, Not everybody knows me, but many do. And my sign also says liberty and ecology. I'm very proud of that. People say, "Ooh, liberty. Ooh, what is that? Is that is that conservative?" Um, I think it's real fundamental, and I don't think it's anything we have to be afraid of, or afraid of acknowledging that it's really great, and we don't need to diminish it. Um, and that goes for local towns and having the right to set a course for their local community. After all, the local community is what sets up the local governments, and that's you and I and we the people. So cheers, everybody, and this is my little wrap. I'll wrap up the wrap. All right, and see you all later. Thank you. Bye bye.